Welcome to the glow, where warmth begins. Nick and Becca, where good vibes win. Pull up a chair and let's get started to business tips with a cool, relaxed view. Fireside Chats with Nick and Becca, business tips where it's at.
Welcome to Nick and Becca's Fireside Chats, brought to you by Tricress. Tricress is the home of the Kick-Ass Culture Coach and Consultant program. Everything every business coach and consultant needs to make them successful. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the sister and brother team who founded Tricress and find out what really makes them tick, what irritates them, and what makes them laugh. Welcome to another Fireside Chat. It is recording.
Welcome.
Yeah, so before we start...
I think they can see the ring light in my glasses. Yeah, people can.
Oh, hang
so
on.
no, I'll take them off. It's
Right.
all right. I don't need to be able to see you, the viewer.
That's true. The viewer, we now know the name of our viewer.
Yeah.
She's called Karen. Hello, Karen.
Hello, Karen.
Thank you very much. We're guessing you're listening to this while you're driving up to Crete.
Don't crash, Karen.
No, concentrate
Don't
on the
crash.
road.
On your way to Crete,
No,
Karen.
Just concentrate on the road. Drive safely.
Yeah, and stop laughing.
And thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you.
Right, so anyway, it was her suggestion
Right.
that we do children's television programmes from the 70s and 80s when we were growing up.
I didn't watch television in the 70s.
You did? I
Yeah.
literally grew up with you watching TV.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to sound interesting.
Oh, right. What were you going
Well, do
to
you remember-
pretend you were doing
Do you remember
instead?
No, well, do you doing intellectual pursuits? Do you
Like
remember
what?
Well, do you remember the Brindles?
Yes.
Who lived in that big house?
Yes.
Who didn't have a telly?
No, and neither did Saffron.
No, she didn't have a
No,
telly, you see.
No, they didn't. They were intellectuals.
Yeah, so they didn't have a telly, and it was like odd that these people didn't have televisions in the 70s.
Yeah, but
They had a piano.
I think their kids have probably grown up to do better than us, potentially, because they didn't have a telly.
Well, I bet they're not sitting in front of a camera desperately trying to get people to like them.
I can guarantee that they're not doing that. I think Stephen Brindle went to the LSE and did something posh.
Is that an orchestra?
No, that's the London School of Economics.
Oh, right, I'm getting mixed
Yeah.
with the LSO, London Symphony Orchestra.
You are, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Karen's suggestion was television programmes from the 70s and 80s.
Are we free to ignore Karen? And just go, no, Karen, that's not what we're going to talk about.
Well, I think that would be unfair, since she's our one loyal listener. I think we owe it to her.
Okay.
My favourite, while Nick just
I know what
gets
she's
his...
going to say.
What?
I think you're going to say Grange Hill.
No.
Oh.
I quite like Captain Caveman.
God, I'd forgotten about Captain
There you go, Captain Caveman.
The cartoon.
Yeah, Penelope Pitstop.
Oh, yeah, but she was elegant and attractive.
Yeah, Penelope Pitstop, Captain Caveman.
Yeah.
What else did I like? Snoopy cartoons.
You were obsessed with Snoopy.
Obsessed with Snoopy.
She was obsessed with Snoopy.
Yeah.
One Christmas she got bought a Snoopy watch and she was like, I've never seen her so excited in my life.
So excited. In fact, if I could get a Snoopy watch now, I would wear a Snoopy watch.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and there's a shop in Edinburgh called Paper Tiger and they have loads of Snoopy things.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
Snoopy was huge, wasn't it?
Oh, I love Snoopy. So, Snoopy, Captain Caveman, slightly obsessed with Blue Peter.
Agreed.
Because I
Agreed.
wanted to be on Blue Peter.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we have.
And do one that I prepared earlier. And I also I didn't like ITV kids programmes, so
No.
I wasn't keen on Tiswas.
Very low rent.
Yeah, very low rent.
I don't think Mum would have let us watch Tiswas.
She didn't.
No, you're right, I didn't like Tiswas. It was just too chaotic.
It's too anarchic.
It wasn't organised. Swap Shop,
Yes.
which is a much smoother format, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Swap Shop, it was brilliant.
It was brilliant. And then, of course, Karen brought up the spectre of Jimmy Savile and Jim Will Fix It.
Ah, yeah, bless him.
And admitted that she'd written in.
But we all did.
Yeah,
Everybody did write in.
Everybody
to
wrote
Jimmy
in.
Savile.
Yeah, and thank God we weren't on it.
Did you what did you write in for him to fix for you?
I think I wanted to meet the Queen.
Okay. I wanted to clean a bus.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, why?
Because...
You're such a weirdo.
Because... one, I like cleaning, and I always did from being little. And I used to get the bus to school, and they were always filthy.
Oh my God.
And I thought it'd be brilliant to just wash a massive, great big bus. And I also thought, actually, they could arrange that. That would look, from a kind of televisual point of view, that would be an interesting shoot, wouldn't it? That'd be quite good.
So funny.
But yeah, I wanted to clean a bus. But thankfully, neither of us got on.
No, no. And I never did meet the Queen, which was a bit sad, because I would have liked to have met her.
Have you seen the Queen?
Not in person, no.
I've seen her twice.
Have you?
Yeah.
Where were you?
So the first time was shortly after the Manchester bombing in the summer of 1996.
Right.
An impromptu visit, and turned up in St Anne's Square. And because it was impromptu, it was about 35, 40 people had gathered round, because I worked at Russell and Bromley, as you know. And the word had got out, and me and Roy, the manager, went, oh, come on, let's bob out and see. And I wasn't expecting much, actually, at all. I was thinking, oh yeah, the Queen. And then she stepped out of the car. And you're talking about, basically, if she wasn't the Queen, she was an old lady.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I get this, is because it's to do with her position. But she just oozed power and authority. It was unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was
She
quite...
was only little.
Yeah, it was incredible, and both Roy and I felt it. We were going, oh, this will be good, see the Queen. And then she got out of the car, and we were in awe.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
she projected a lot of power.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, it was really... Yeah, it was. It was amazing, actually. And then the other time, I was invited with Sally to the one of the garden parties in summer 2017. And when we got there, we were just with the hoi polloi, but it turned out Sally knew the guy who was in charge of catering for the diplomatic and ambassadorial enclosure, and he got us in.
Wow.
So we got right up close.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, amazing.
God, that's really impressive. And she did look like our Nana.
Yeah, she did look like our Nana.
Our Nana was very similar to the Queen.
Yes.
In many, many ways.
Many ways.
Yeah, she was.
Anyway, we're off topic here. Karen, I can sense that Karen is in the car screaming, going, get back to children's television.
Yes, yes. So, as your kids grew up, did you watch Dick and Dom?
A bit of Dick and Dom.
I love
yes.
Dick and Dom.
Yeah.
And do you remember, I can't remember what they were called, but the ones that did when Philip Schofield...
Yeah, we don't do duvets.
We don't do duvets. What were they called?
I think one of them was called Simon.
Simon and something.
I don't know, we don't do duvets. Why was that funny?
I don't know, but every week they would pretend they were in a laundrette and the customer would come in and the whole line was, do you do duvets? No, we don't do duvets. Do you know what's funny? There's a laundrette in Morningside that does do duvets.
Does it?
And I walked in the first time and went, do you do duvets?
And they didn't know the follow-up line, and they went, just yes.
No,
yeah, oh, that
because
really
it's
did
run by a lovely, lovely Asian gentleman who, you know, that cultural reference will have been lost on him because he was being brought up somewhere else at the time.
Indeed.
But, you know, super, he only takes cash.
Best way, I think we'd all only like to take cash, wouldn't we? So I'm going to mention the children's television programme, which I don't think my sister was aware of.
What?
That red light's flashing.
That's okay, it's meant to, that means it's working.
And that was called Double Deckers.
Oh, I don't know that.
No, exactly.
Ooh.
Come aboard, come aboard, come aboard with the Double Deckers was the theme tune.
Right.
Yes, and so imagine a kind of junkyard kind of environment where there was an abandoned double-decker bus, and this was their like den.
Oh.
And there was a lad in it called Donut, and there was a girl in it called Tiger. And if you go on YouTube and put in Double Deckers, it comes up with the theme tune, and you can find out what's happened to these people. So you'd have to be older than me, my age or older, because I thought you'd have just missed it.
No, I didn't. I was born 1970.
I was 1967, just a week actually. No, a month before or a week before the release of the Sgt. Pepper's album.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's quite a momentous...
Yeah.
Yeah, they were all hooked on LSD. No, they weren't hooked on LSD. They were taking a lot of LSD at the time.
Yes.
Allegedly.
So I liked Swap Shop,
Yeah.
except I had never had anything that we would swap.
No.
And there's no way Mum would let us ring a London number.
Oh, God, no.
Because you had to ring 01, didn't it?
That was if you're
outside London. Do you remember
Posh
Paws?
Posh Paws?
Posh Paws was the dinosaur, the cuddly dinosaur on...
God, oh
in the
my
background,
God,
Posh
yeah,
Paws.
do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
and Keith Chegwin would always be at the Swap Shop things.
God bless him.
I always wanted Flight Deck.
What's that?
Flight Deck was a yellow Phantom thing, Phantom aircraft, jet aircraft, and a sort of plastic. It was all plastic and wires and things, and you could guide it in using this. It's all say plastic with wires and things. You could guide it in as though you were landing on a flight deck.
Oh.
I really wanted, never got it.
Right. So buses and flight decks. So have you ever driven a double-decker bus?
No.
Well, maybe you ought to.
No, I've no desire to.
Just clean one.
Well, you know I like cleaning.
I know.
We're a little bit late. My sister's never been into cleaning, and I have. I don't know. I always have.
No, definitely not. I'd rather be reading a book.
I like reading books as well, but there's a time for reading and a time for cleaning.
Yeah, it's mainly reading. All right, so that's that. What about was it Lizzie Dripping?
Yes, Lizzie Dripping.
Lizzie Dripping. Now, I remember Lizzie Dripping because she had these long plaits.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with those long plaits, and I really, really wanted long plaits, but I never got long plaits. I don't know why. I didn't grow my hair that long. Who knows? But she had lovely long plaits.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about the programme other than
long plaits.
The name.
Yeah. No, that's the only thing I remember. And then Grange Hill.
Grange Hill was absolutely the big thing of our age, wasn't it? Because it was groundbreaking.
It was, yeah.
Because it showed sort of a comprehensive school, more or less as it was.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that in primary school as we hurtled towards me going to senior school, thinking, oh my God. You know, some of it was like, okay, it looks as though it's going to be fun when I go to big school. Another, it looks a bit scary.
Yeah.
To be honest.
There was a lot of fighting. There wasn't swearing, but there was...
No, because it was a children's television programme, so there was
fighting. There was there a teenage pregnancy? Or am I making that up?
You might have made that up.
Right.
But of course it was different for us as well because it was based in London, so they all spoke like that.
Yeah, they did.
So that was very aggressive.
Tucker Jenkins.
Zammo.
Yeah. Trisha,
yes.
Yeah, Trisha Yates.
Yeah.
It's amazing we remember all these things.
I know. And Roland. You have to say Roland like that because he was bullied, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
So they did highlight bullying. But Roland was always pronounced that because there was a black girl in it, wasn't there? And she befriended him.
Yeah.
And I have to say, because this is the 1970s, and what I'm about to say is absolutely accurate. In North Manchester, there was a black lady, if you remember, who lived 2 doors down, who's married to a white guy.
Yes.
Which was incredibly and that was the only black person in our childhood.
There was Helenetta Daffy who joined our primary school.
Right. Yes, and actually we had Tywa and Kendi Eniola.
Yeah, but she didn't join until we were about 8 or 9, so it was quite late.
Yeah, so it's it was unusual. It was unusual.
Yeah.
So to have a black character, and there was a young black lad, I think mixed race in Grange Hill.
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was. So that was quite an unusual thing, really, back then.
Yeah, it was.
So that's Grange Hill, very good. I've said Swap Shop. I did like Scooby Doo, original Scooby Doo. I loved it.
Yeah, original Scooby Doo.
I'm going to make an admission here. When I was very younger, I thought Scooby Doo was the blonde girl in it. I thought she was Scooby Doo.
No.
And then I was watching one. I remember
Daphne.
when I realised that now. And then I was a bit young. Thought, oh no, it's not her. She's not Scooby Doo. I think it's the intellectual one with glasses. Is Scooby Doo.
Velma.
I realised that. Honestly, it was a good few episodes before I realised, oh, it's the dog that's Scooby Doo.
Yes.
I didn't realise. I was only very, very young. I was very naive.
you
I lived in
are.
Banbury in Oxfordshire up until I was 5.5, 6. So I've been closeted in the Cotswolds.
Can I make an admission as well?
Yeah.
I only realised about 2 weeks ago what MAGA meant. You know, with all the MAGA hats.
Yeah, Make America Great
I
Again.
know, but I only realised about 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh, that's what it stands for.
No, but but it's funny. There's all those sort of things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Harry a few years ago thought that the Electric Light Orchestra and ELO were two separate bands, and then one day I was with him and he went, ELO, is that? I went electric, and he went, oh my god, I thought they were two separate bands.
Yeah, you do.
So we do that.
Yeah,
we do. You come up with things, don't
Yeah,
you?
you do.
When Mum, do you remember when Uncle Victor, no, Uncle Tony and Auntie Sue lived in Hebden Bridge
Yes.
in the 70s, way before it became.
Oh, they were trailblazers.
They were
Yeah,
trailblazers,
they were.
actually, way before it became trendy in West Yorkshire. We used to drive past the porter cabin place where they all rented or manufactured porter cabins. Yes?
Vaguely remember that.
Right.
Oh, yes, I know what you're going to say.
She knows what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
For years as a
Yeah.
little boy, I thought that was pronounced Portakabin.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Every time we went past a goal, Portakabin. And then I said it to my mum. I said, every time we come past it, we pass this place called Portakabin. And she they're called porter cabins. And it suddenly made sense. It's like, oh, it's the portable cabin. I get that. Well done, lads. But I think many of us have things like that,
Yeah,
don't
for years, Lottie, my eldest, sorry, I'm going to have to wipe my nose, used to say
we? Who needs to know that?
mazagine instead of magazine.
Mazagine.
Mazagine, but it was so cute that we just didn't correct
Yeah,
her.
no, and is that still in the house? You just say, pass me the Mazagine.
Well, not anymore, but it is funny.
I think you should carry that on.
Yeah, we maybe should. But there are certain things that that get fixed in your head,
It's true.
and you think, this is a thing, this is what... And why I hadn't connected MAGA with Make America Great Again, I have absolutely no idea. But I didn't until about 2 weeks ago. And then I went, oh, that's what it stands
That's what MAGA, yeah. Yeah, well, it took me a long time before I knew, because they refer to the Republican Party as GOP.
Oh,
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, GOP, GOP. It stands for Grand Old Party.
I didn't know that either.
Yes.
Gosh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's what it stands
It's
for.
all these things.
Yeah, all these things.
Yeah.
Other children's things. The children's programmes format, again, I mean, Karen, you'll understand this, because it seems to be that you're all are roughly our demographic.
She is, yeah, she is.
But if there's anybody that is younger than that, so maybe, I don't know, people born in the 90s, and
Yeah.
that's quite incredible, because there are adults who were born in the 90s, which is hard to believe,
Yeah,
but they
well,
are grown-ups.
Our older kids. Was George born in the 90s?
Yeah, 1998.
Yeah, so yeah, they
Yes,
were born in the 90s.
I know, that's incredible. They're
Yeah.
working, those people, aren't
I
they?
know, and voting and everything.
It's
and
like
buying
people in the
homes.
2000s. Oh, I don't think they're buying homes.
Well, Lottie has.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
Lottie
true.
home.
No, so it's for you lot. There were only 3 television channels until
Yeah.
81, 82 when there was Channel 4. So there were 3 television channels, and children's programmes ran from 4 o'clock till 5:30.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's all you had.
That's what you had.
And then Saturday morning.
And Saturday
Was
mornings.
it from like 8 till...
Yeah, it was very early, wasn't it?
12
Yeah,
or
and then it was
something.
Grandstand,
Yeah.
if you were, which was a sport programme
Yeah.
on BBC, and it was World of Sport.
Yes, which
on-
was just dull.
Which was just dull, but that had the wrestling on.
Oh God,
Old
with Big Daddy
Big
and Giant
Daddy.
Haystacks.
Yeah, and Mick McManus and all
Yes,
that,
yeah.
which our maternal grandmother loved.
She did.
She loved it.
She
She loved
really
it.
did. And Murray Mintz.
She did love. Murray Mintz is not the name of a person.
No, it's so sweet.
They were sweets.
Yeah.
So children's television was literally an hour. So you would get home from school,
Yeah.
and that's what you'd watch. But it was always the same format in that they would end with a little 5-minute programme, which would either be Captain Pugwash,
Yes.
Rhubarb and Custard,
Yes.
Magic Roundabout,
Yes. Ivor the Engine.
Ivor the Engine.
Ivor the Engine.
Ivor the Engine.
And Jones the Steed.
Yes, yes.
That was my Welsh accent.
Welsh.
Yes.
But Blue Peter was an excellent programme when you think about it. I don't know. I think it probably is.
Right.
But that was Blue Peter was an excellent programme.
I
actually.
liked Rhubarb and Custard.
So did I. That was narrated by Richard Bryars.
Oh yes.
The great Richard Bryars.
Yes.
Sally hates it.
Why?
Well, the noise and then the chaoticness of it.
Oh, okay.
Because it was chaotic.
Yeah, it was quite chaotic.
But it was only 5 minutes of chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember Will-O the Wisp?
Yes.
That was narrated by Kenneth Williams.
Mavis Moog. Yeah, Mavis Moog. And there was one that was just on the tip of my tongue there. I can't really...
Pipkins.
Pipkins!
Yeah, but Pipkins was an afternoon programme.
Hartley Hair,
because Pipkins was broadcast from the Midlands. It was made by Midlands, so all the characters had Birmingham accents.
They did.
Lovely. It was very multicultural back then, wasn't it? All right, Hartley Hair.
Which one was Professor Jacob? Bagpuss.
Bagpuss. Emily with her worn-out cloth cat.
You quite liked...
I quite liked that. It was a sleepy old cat, wasn't it?
Yeah, I liked Bagpuss. Bagpuss was very, very cute and lovely. Finger Bobs.
My God, hosted by Yoffie.
Yoffie.
That's who was called Yoffie, wasn't it?
That man? Hippie with
he was a real hippie, wasn't he?
Massive beard. Did he have a massive beard?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did. Yeah. Finger puppets. Michael Bentine's Potty Time.
Oh, now I think I was too young
Which
for
was
that.
very odd. That was a very, very odd programme, Michael Bent, but it sort of transfixed me in its oddness.
Right.
Yes.
What was it about?
I don't know. You'd have to look on YouTube for Michael Bentine's Potty Time. You could tell, can't you, actually, on reflection, that there was a whole load of people who had done the whole drug kind of hallucinogenic thing, right, in the late 60s, and then got into making children's television. Right. Yeah. And had just been let loose on children's television.
Yeah.
And of course the big one, I think, another big one was Vision On.
Oh, with Tony Hart.
Now, most people go, oh no, that was Take Heart. No, that was his follow-up programme.
Yes, it was, Vision On.
But his start was called Vision On.
With Morph.
Which was groundbreaking because there was somebody doing signing in that for deaf kids, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, which was just great.
Yeah, that was Vision On was excellent.
And you used to send your pictures in. Did you ever send your picture in?
I might have sent a picture into that.
I don't think I ever did.
Our mum was very arty. She did art history and stuff. We were dragged round art galleries, weren't we?
Yeah.
So she encouraged us to do poster painting. Daz Clay, do you remember Daz?
Yeah, Daz Clay.
She didn't need to fire.
And she made me make my own advent calendars.
Yeah, we used to make our own advent calendars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So I knew exactly what was coming.
I could, but
because I'd drawn it.
But it'd take like 3 hours on a Sunday morning to make an advent calendar, wouldn't it? When you think about it, you know, there she was. She had 2 kids, and obviously there's no telly, so it's like, well, how do I entertain them? Right, you making advent calendars.
Yeah, definitely.
It was quite incredible.
It was incredible, really. Yeah, it was. What about Button Moon? Do you remember Button Moon?
Yeah, I do remember Button Moon.
Button Moon.
The Clangers.
The Clangers. They didn't even speak.
See, that's another weird programme, isn't it? The Soup Dragon.
Nobody spoke.
No.
It was just...
Pink knitted. I mean, they look like sorts of little scrotums with noses on, really, didn't they? Imagine a scrotum with a nose, but with sort of glitter and stars on it. Well, maybe don't imagine that, in fact.
No, what were those?
Do you know, years ago, I'm going off at a side.
I know, I can see that.
No, because Harry, our youngest son, many, many years ago, when my ex-wife and I were sitting up in bed of a morning, Harry came into the bedroom in the morning. He said, Mum, Dad, he said, I've got a couple of things that I need to tell you. I went, okay, Harry, what? He said, from now on, I want to be known as Barry.
Okay, interesting.
And the other thing is, I've decided to call my scrotum Mr. Bubbles. He was about 7.
Bless his
I'm going to call my scrotum Mr. Bubbles. And now I have to say, as the owner of one of those appendages, since I was very, very young, it had never occurred to me to name it. But if I was to name it, Mr. Bubbles would be it. Although I'd not want to kind of, you know, christen it with slamming a bottle of champagne against it.
Why? Just why?
I don't know why he came up with that.
Does he remember it?
Yeah, he does remember it, yeah.
Right, okay. I take it he's stopped doing
Oh,
that
yeah,
now.
I don't think he
Right,
does
good.
that anymore. No, I
Right,
don't
and he
think.
definitely doesn't go by Barry because we call him Harry and it. Maybe he chose Barry because it rhymed with Harry.
I think it was Barry he wanted to be known as.
I do remember when he said, Mum, that wasp is embarrassing me. I do remember when he said that.
Yes, that wasp is embarrassing me.
Which was a
That's
classic
right.
Harry.
Yeah, here's another one. Driving home one day from primary school, I think. Dad, what's your favourite transparent object? I'll tell you what, for you, Karen, if you're driving, it's your windscreen, love.
Yeah, definitely.
Right now, it's your windscreen.
What did you say?
I said my windscreen.
Did you? Yeah.
Because without that, I wouldn't be, you know, we'd be hitting
yeah.
things. Yeah, what's your favourite transparent object?
What was his?
I don't remember what his, but what a question.
I know, kids are just
It's what
great.
a question. He did the once where we did I Spy. Because you play I Spy.
Oh, shush. Sorry, that's my HelloFresh being delivered.
Oh.
I'm like 250 miles away at my brother's house. But DPD are dropping my HelloFresh off even as we speak.
I've got my head in my hands because my sister is so bloody middle class. It's just not true. Jeez, you're like a... Oh my God.
I hate shopping.
You're like a caricature of a middle class
I hate
woman.
shopping. I
living
hate
in a posh
doing
part
the
of Edinburgh.
shopping. And just, if I can
It's
order...
so convenient, HelloFresh. It's
It
just so
is.
convenient. And they have recipes. And, you know, I'm a busy working mum and everything with a growing family and running my own business. And it's just ideal for me. And my husband pops to Costco. And, of course, we order wine. We did used to use Times Wine Club, but now we use Laith Wines.
Never used
And
a
she
wine
makes
club.
out that she's working. Honestly, Jesus. She calls me Flash. A notification on her phone that HelloFresh have delivered.
It's because I can't be bothered thinking about food.
I know.
No, honestly, 20 years of cooking 5 meals a day. No, 5 evening meals a week for 5 people. I'm over
You're
it.
done, aren't you?
I'm done. I
get
can't be
that.
bothered.
I get that.
I can't, you know, every morning, what do I need to get out of the freezer, what we're having for tea? Because I was the only one thinking about it.
Yeah, it's true.
And for probably about 4 of those years, it was 6 people for tea. Because we had the boyfriend, Lottie's boyfriend.
I'm just reaching for my violin.
But
I'm just...
I don't mind doing it.
No, I know.
But I'm so done with it now.
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
I don't want to think about
So we're
it.
playing I Spy in the car with Harry,
Yeah.
and Harry says, in his little Scottish accent, I spy with my little eye something beginning with W. So I'm going like, windscreen, no. Window, no. Wind turbine, no. Would you like me to give you a clue, Daddy? So I said, yeah, give us a clue. He said, I've got a big red nose, big floppy feet, and curly red hair. I said, I've no idea. It begins with W. He went, yeah. I went, what is it? He went, it's a wee clown.
A wee clown.
It's a wee clown. That's absolutely true. Big floppy feet, big red curly hair, and a big red nose.
And on that note... Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed Nick and Becca's Fireside Chats just as much as we enjoyed recording it. Remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever it is you need to do. And head over now to tricrest.com, TRICRES.com. There's a ton of resources there for business coaches and consultants. Some are free, some you have to pay for. We really look forward to welcoming you to the TriCrest family.